All right, welcome back here. It is the Div 1, Div 2 podcast.
Salut.
Let's go with the serious introduction. I'm Mo Khan, bringing you Div 1, Div 2.
Simon. I used to write the one too.
I'm Peeze, and I don't really eat that much ice cream.
And I'm Eagle, and I'm the guy who controls these idiots. Hopefully. Not really.
The master puppet.
Like a thing of Ben & Jerry's lasts me a whole summer. Easy.
I don't eat ice cream.
Sometimes I throw it up.
I don't eat ice cream. The only time I actually eat ice cream is when I go to Super C and there's these little like Rolos $1. I'll buy one and Sophie's gonna eat.
So good. Once you eat our trash on top of it.
Sophie's gonna eat
Rolos,
80% of
wow.
them. Yeah,
I
man.
haven't had
Rolo
Rolos in
ice cream.
years.
Rolo ice cream is the best.
From where? Like the actual, or you go like McFlurry style?
No, straight up. I'm gonna go like Super C and buy like Rolo ice cream.
He's going to do this
It's
after
a frozen
the...
Rolo.
Yeah, freeze it for like 40 hours. It tastes fantastic.
Like grapes. Like freezing grapes. Actually,
What if
frozen
you-
Snickers is better than ice
Can
cream.
you,
I don't think I
Eagle,
understood what
do you
I
mind
was eating.
Googling it up, please? Frozen grapes, please.
It's a thing.
I know, but can you describe to us, please?
Google
They're
says
grapes.
It's a thing.
They're frozen.
No, Urban Dictionary frozen grapes.
Yeah,
Plug
need to know-
game.
Actually, I need to know if there's an alternate definition that's on Urban Dictionary
There's gonna
for
be
frozen grapes.
100% there's gonna be something. Have you ever Googled your own name in Urban Dictionary? Well, search your own name in Urban Dictionary. It's amazing.
The
You should. It's amazing.
the top definition of frozen grapes is a delicious fucking snack.
Amazing. Amazing. See, I told you guys. All right, guys, so Div 1, Div 2. As we now get back to real FPF talk.
How's it not Urban Pictionary yet?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Because you know what they say, a picture with 1,000 words. So that's a really long definition.
All right, so
Oh man, my mind went to so many places.
I'm sure it did. Boys, what do you expect from Div 1, Div 2 this year, starting with Div 2?
I think Div 2 is going to be more fun to watch than Div 1. I actually think that there's more parity in Division 2 with a lot of teams sort of rebuilding and trying different things, whereas Division 1, sadly, I believe is going to be the three-headed monster again. The whole D-Boys Finest, fight more sack. I don't think there's going to be another team that's going to be able to...
Braves?
And in reality,
Yeah, but the problem with the winter version of Braves is they're competitive, but they win like they're strong. They're stronger in the spring than they are in the winter.
because
I don't know. That's just how it pans out.
Is that good for Div 1, though, to have the powers? Or you know, 3 years ago we had the final of who again? DK against...
That was like 4 years ago now.
no, 2016.
DK
Was it 14?
against
Nick...
the
Got skills.
Tomos got skills, right?
Was that 2014?
2015. 2016, sorry.
who are now got fat.
They got fat.
Some
got
good
fat.
introspection there.
But they lost a few guys too. Like Van Ram's not on that squad anymore
No, he's playing for
'Cause he was not
Fly
fat.
One Sack.
because he's not fat.
But yeah, you're right. I think Div 2 is much more unpredictable of teams.
I think.
I don't know. Like we were talking off here about Ryan Kastner, right now playing for Clockmakers, melange of Rainmakers and Clockwork guys. And we think that you said, I believe it was you, someone was you, Peeze, that said he's the best quarterback of this division.
I
Yeah.
said that. Well,
Okay.
you might have said it too, but I believe that to be the case. And to be honest, I like the team. I think they'll do well in Division 2. I don't know if they're necessarily the top dogs, but I like it. I like what I saw, and I like how Marco Masocha and Kerouac fit in this team.
I think that Clockmakers is Ryan Kastner elevates this team a lot. It's a good team. Their defense played better than their offense, which speaks volume to a Ryan Kastner led team. There's a lot of potential. It's just it was week 1. There was a few plays that didn't go their way.
A few bugs in the system.
That's not new. But yeah, Clockmakers is going to be a strong contender to this team. But if you're looking at Conference B, it's also very stacked. You got Controversy, Kings Landing, Nighthawks. You can sit with us, Clockmakers, STL. It's a very strong conference.
So do they, and for King's Landing, a team that consists of Alex Moreau, Van Dram, Anthony De Silva, James Donald, Jason Prince, Steve Sander, Vinny Galano, Zach Jonio. 7 wins, more than enough, or is it going to be 8 wins to win this division?
Oh, maybe 9. I think Conference B is going to be...
But if it's stacked, there's no way that there's going to be a runaway team, though.
I think one team's going to run away with it. Somebody's going to just steamroll through Conference B. Somehow. I think that Clockmakers has an opportunity to do it. STL has an opportunity to do it. I think Controversy might lose more games than they've expected. I think The problem is I think Dagenais is going to be able to win Division 2. I don't think he's going to win Division 1. I think he's going to win Division 2.
Oh boy, you just erupted right now.
I told him
Lazaro
yesterday.
volcano.
I told him straight up yesterday. I think you're not going to win Division 1. You might win Division 2. But the way they played yesterday was exactly what they must not do if they want to win Division 2. They have new players. They have the Mastro brothers that now play with him, Jadda
and Samish though.
Yeah, the Mastro brothers. And Rod and Sam and Jadda. It's a nice complementary piece to what they have with AJ Gomes, Zach Jonio, Dan Lazar. Problem is they were forcing way too many deep throws that were 50-50 balls. The receiver should have caught them, did not. And you're turning the ball over and over until you lose a game. If you put the ball, the game in the other team's hands and they're at the 1 yard line and you're hoping they don't score on 4 downs, and Division 2, you're not supposed to win those games.
Yeah.
Right, like it's not Div 6. I agree with you that if you put the ball in the 1 yard line with a good defense, there's a chance you're going to win that game. But in Div 2, everybody scores every single drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Obviously.
So, Peeze, when you look at Div 2, a team like #NR.
Stop defending your dumb punt rule also.
So
Completely irrelevant.
#NR, a team that has had really good success of late. They've had some deep runs. They won a championship. Was it last winter? I believe it was. Right. They went to Florida and a trip that was epic. Do they have the same? First off, are you surprised they're not in Div 1? That's my first question to you.
Not surprised, but I mean, I think they could have competed. They could have competed in Div 1. That said,
I think they're missing guys.
They need to find replacements for who they have. But for me, given that they're in Conference A, cakewalk.
Yeah, it's going to be they're the only
9-1,
team,
10-0.
the only team that's going to give them a little bit of struggle to get that Conference A. It's Bad Boys. I think that
I
Braves
don't even think so.
I think that Braves 2.0 will be a good Division 2 team, but they won't be great.
And if you look at their schedule, the schedule's kind of nice
For
#NR. They avoid some of the tougher matchups, and
well, they have their toughest game might be Week 4 against Controversy.
yeah, and that's pretty much it.
But
I think they're heads above Bad Boys. I think they're much better than Braves 2.0.
They play Bad Boys week 8. They play Controversy week 4, and they play Braves 2.0.
they could be
Saturday.
They could be an 8-win team.
But the rest of the way,
At least an 8-win team.
but the rest of the way, I don't see any losses.
That's what I'm saying.
So if they would win Saturday against Braves 2.0, they only have 2 more games that they could potentially lose. Unless something tragic happens, and ours might run away with Conference A.
I agree with you. It's the thing I said.
Well, Corey
Unless
Packer, mind you, Fred Dupuis through for them Week 1.
Yeah,
Corey Packer
unless
did not.
Corey misses in 5 games, but I'm assuming, knowing him, he's going to miss 1 or 2.
We assume the roster as is.
So, did they get the divisions wrong then in terms of who was where? I
mean, it's more interesting for us. It gives us stuff to talk about.
but in reality, shouldn't 2 of the teams from Conference B be up in Conference A than where they are right now to make it a little bit more?
I would agree.
Yeah, if you swap
I'd
out,
like to see, for example, Conspiracy in Conference A. Maybe you take Conspiracy and, I don't know, You Can't Sit With Us.
Controversy.
Yes, Eagle.
The big conversation
Conspiracy
pre-season was about a quarterback cap for Division 2 and whether it would make the division more competitive. Now that you actually see the teams that have been registered and the quarterback for each team, what do you think?
Well, who would we take out? Would take out Ryan Kastner? Would take out Marco as a quarterback, who's not so they couldn't have Ryan either. Would take out Jonathan Mayer. Who else?
Lazara, Wyeth in theory.
Wyatt's not playing in Division 2. He's not throwing in Division 2.
Rod.
So basically, we'd be making rules for 6 guys to not throw.
Yeah, and I mean, as of right now, we only take away 3 guys. Right, Ryan would not have a team there. Neither would Jonathan Mayer, but I don't think we would lose 2 teams. Right, I don't think the Clockmakers would exist, and I don't think that Braves 2.0 would exist. So aside from that, you take away these 2 teams who we don't believe are the top contenders in the division at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a big deal.
So what do you say to all the quarterbacks? And there's a few off the top of my list. You know them very well. I believe they were ranked the 11th best QB in Division B last year,
Abram.
as well as a future Hall of Fame quarterback. That were right on the cusp of saying, well, I should be able to play Div 3 because Div 2 is too hard with all the big guys. So
Well,
What's your
there's
thoughts?
one that's playing right now in Division 2, so we did man up and play, and there's one that did not. To me, I agreed with the cap initially. I was on the side of we should have a cap. Now looking back, I don't think it would have mattered. So they were wrong.
It's just hard to
not
have a
playing.
rule that specifically targets 5 to 6 people.
Yes, yes, it is.
You know that.
And
that's-
how many people would it actually help? Right, like looking back, how many teams would it have?
Two. Maybe
One, because Sean is playing.
Oh,
Sean Abram is playing in Division
He's very
2.
upset at you guys. By
So
the
there's
way.
only one
Whatever,
guy
he's
that's
always
not
upset.
playing.
He's always crying.
It's okay. It's his thing.
He wants to be a contributor for this podcast. Div 1, Div 2.
It's
No.
okay. He says
I
he
don't
can,
want players.
and then he
They're
says
not
and then he said he can't do Thursdays. He's a drama queen.
I actually got an audio quote of him when we told him there wasn't going to be a quarterback.
You can really hear the particularities in his voice.
Octaves were very high on that. The team that's most likely to fail miserably is who?
Mostly. SYO for life.
They're terrible. No,
They don't have a quarterback.
Emmanuel Chrissy-Lozon.
They don't have a quarterback.
They're terrible.
Both Christy Lozons are great two-way players, offense, defense, receiver.
So can
DB.
they grab one of
need to grab somebody.
those elite guys who's not playing?
But I'm
from-
shocked,
from
though. These
Div
guys are
1?
all former Carabin, Concordia guys, and they can't find a quarterback for this team.
They just need to find a solid. This Division 2, you can't get away without a quarterback.
But is it like ego that's like, oh no, I'm gonna be good at quarterback. I promise you guys. Like,
Or
we'll be
it
good.
could be that they had somebody and the guy bailed last minute.
Mm.
I don't know. It could be. So if that's the case, I feel bad for them. You had somebody that said, "I'll take care of it. I'll play quarterback. We'll be all right." And then a week before the season, bailed out. And Division 2, realistically, there's not 100 guys that could do it. Like, we're looking at a thin amount of players that could potentially
Yeah,
be
but
good
like,
quarterbacks in Division
They're
2.
almost better with 100 guys who can do it. You know what I mean? Like they're better with taking their chances on a Div 3 quarterback.
They need to.
Let's put it this way. Like Simon, I don't think, for example, if you were there, their quarterback, I don't think they'd be competitive, but they'd be better.
Yes.
It's an upgrade.
You know,
Yes.
Joey Taylor, they don't fit what he does, but they'd
No.
be better.
No, the problem at the moment is they don't have a quarterback and they won't have any fun because they won't score points. They're
Yeah.
gonna have battle weeks over and over again. So they need even if they bring a guy that's not as good. To your example, even if I would be the quarterback for that team, the team would score a few points. We won't win. We won't be competitive, but we'll put up 4 touchdowns a game.
It's like
We're
when
gonna
Alex
lose
Holloway was
45,
throwing for
25.
Montreal freshmen.
You
Same
know,
thing.
I watched them play, and it was just bad football, man. Like they had the best player was a guy in street clothes trash talking young McLaren, Julian McLaren.
Julian.
Yeah, but they're not they don't have a quarterback, so nobody's actually playing
They-
quarterback, and they're just tossing the ball around like it's a,
Yeah,
it's street football, but it's
But just-
FPF is more
it
organized than that.
dilutes the quality of teams.
And they should know that. They've played in FPF before. Like Chris Lozons, they played with Braves a few times.
They always beat the finest, his Ducks team.
Yeah.
The Ducks team
Yeah.
from like 4 or 5 years ago. But here, I'll reel out the games for you. And just tell me if they're going to win or not. Prospect Squad could be their first win.
Prospect Squad is in the same boat as them.
Yeah. So
But I
winner.
think Prospect Squad's better.
I think Prospect Squad has a season of them trying to figure it out ahead of
Yeah, exactly.
SYO.
All right, so they're not going to be controversy. That's we can put a 99% chance on that. They play Nighthawks, which could be a win for them. Oh my God, Tom Gatehouse on this team. Who brought Tom Gatehouse?
I
on
was
this?
also very shocked. I think he's playing receiver. I don't think he's playing quarterback.
He's
All
not
right.
playing quarterback.
Yeah, because Richland Shree's playing on the
Okay,
team.
you can't say with us not going to beat them. Okay, NR is going to whip them. Kings Line is going to whip them. Braves is going to whip them. Clockmakers and Terror Squad, they're all going to whip them. But I'll ask you this though, Alex Halowak, if you recall, in the spring season, he had a very, very awful crash landing in how he got beat up in that Div B playoff game, and he did detox. Is this now the redemption tour for Alex Halowak to become what many thought he would? Because he's won individual awards, but when it comes to playoff success, very
Yeah.
minimal
He
at
has a
best.
championship.
But I'm saying of late though, like he's had those awards come his way of late, but he's not won at the most important times of the year.
So he's gonna find a way where I said this in a negative way because why not? I honestly think he's excellent. I think he is in the top tier quarterbacks of FPF. Sometimes it's almost as if the lights get a little bright, and he struggles, and he tries to put a lot on his shoulders, and it's part of his character. He's the kind of guy who feels pressure to be great, and like the thing is, acknowledge you are great, man, and let the team carry you, and I think this can be something great for that. I think there's greatness on the horizon for him.
Oh, by the way, he's writing an article for Div 1 and Div 2 for those who want to follow what he says.
That was
me-
a great compliment sandwich, by the way.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, but I'm not saying anything
No.
bad. I'm just saying, like, he's good. There's a weakness which everyone has except for Kevin Wyeth, and and so given that information, like, so you know what you got to do.
So to me, the problem with this season for Alex Alawak is I believe this is like a proving ground for him where he's gonna need to prove himself that he's able to play in Division 2 and potentially Division 1 if he wants to at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of pressure of if I don't play well and I don't succeed and I have 20 interceptions this season, nobody wants to play with me in these higher divisions and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of going at it like, this is where I'm at now. I'm stuck in playing Division 2, so my QB rating should reflect how good I am. Let's just play it the way I usually play every game, and let's forget that I'm in Division 2 and just show up to my games and play like it's any other game and succeed that way. I believe he can, but he's putting so much pressure on himself to succeed because he wants to do this and that he's hurting his chances.
Eagle, correct me if I'm wrong. Simo said the exact same thing as I did.
Yeah, he
with
did.
more
I
words.
think he did, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't listening, but I can assume
yeah.
it was the same.
Yeah, I was just nodding to him, yeah,
But
absolutely.
the thing is, he's going to look at me and say, Simo's right. He's going to say, Peeze is a bitch for insulting me.
Don't understand why, but
like-
all right.
Because that's what happened last time.
2 a.m. Facebook conversation.
Okay, by the podcast law, we have to talk about Div 1, which we know is a very...
You know what I realized we didn't do? You guys can be reached on Twitter.
That's fine. We'll do that next week.
It's not
We'll
like we did
contact them on
5
Twitter.
different rounds of introductions
I
and
know.
forgot every
I
time.
know.
It's okay. We have another 9 weeks of
Yeah,
introductions
plus
after
playoffs
this.
as well. To
Oh, all right, more than that.
introductions.
We're going to choose yourself in the finals.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, I'm going to ask you this. Who's not going to make the playoffs in Div 1? There's 2 teams that can't make it.
Hey, I think God Fat won't make the finals. Oh, won't make the playoffs. But they won't make the finals either.
It's they will but obviously not make the finals.
And it's going to come down to most likely DK Waysuit or Munstars.
So
It's not going to be.
DK
It's going to be DK and Goffat, I believe.
To me, the top 4 is Flagmore Sack, Finest, Braves, D-Boys, and then there's a sharp drop.
You
5
think
and
Monstars are going to be a sharp drop from the rest of the pack then?
I think the other 4 teams are better than...
I like.
Munsters.
I don't. I like Munsters. I'm a believer.
Here's a roster. I think Brisebois, Isaiah Lard, Jadaridi, Raul Barudi, Rod Mashtub, Ryan Aridi, Sam Mashtub, Theo Bakalis, and Terry Gerville. That's a pretty decent team.
Robert Rudy's better than people know. He's
Yeah.
a very good player.
Yeah.
Anthony Brisebois, of course, exploded on the scene. Isaiah Lard, we all talk about incessantly. It's good top to bottom.
I think... So, first of all, I think there's a huge upgrade at... I'm sorry, Ryan, but there's a huge upgrade at Rusher with Isaiah Lard. He brings something to the table that not a lot of teams in Division 1 have. It's a tall, lengthy rusher a la Mokan. So, I hate to pat Mokan in the back,
Thank
but
you.
Mokan was good at doing the special thing for Finest back when he was playing.
Back when
And-
there was 3 teams.
And
in
the
that draft.
fact that Mokan's a tall guy and he puts his hand up, he
Yeah.
covers a big lane. And that's what Isaiah Lard understands that he could do. He's
4
got
PDs.
4 PDs and a sack. So he's fast, he gets to the quarterback, and he blocks something. And I think when he's playing against pocket quarterbacks like Rajdi, he's going to force bad throws from the other quarterback, even if it's Div 1.
And not tall Italian quarterbacks like Lazara.
Yes, also.
Lazare.
Well, to be fair, a guy like Lazare moves
Oh, man,
around the
he
pocket
is
a
gonna
lot
be
more.
Pissed at you boys.
Yeah, but
No, but it's factual that he's not tall. Like,
No, but-
he knows he's
Bingo,
not
bro, you're
tall.
making fun of my. He's gonna text me like at 2 in the morning. Me, bro, you're making fun of my height, bro. Last year was my weight, now my height. Like
But
it's true though. He's gonna text me at
how
2
many
o'clock.
weeks? How many weeks before he starts showing up at the field and platforms?
no, but to Dan's credit, he
He's-
moves a lot in the
I'm
pocket.
surprised he doesn't move
He's pretty
more
agile.
often because he is his footwork.
No, he doesn't run, but his footwork is good, and he moves around to avoid the rusher. So I think of all the quarterbacks in Division 1, except from Kevin White
I
because
was
he's
going for the
invincible.
joke, man. He's short.
Yeah.
I'm short. Italians are short.
So-
Eagle is Italian. He's
so
short.
Okay,
like-
but I still believe he's going to be probably the only one who could escape this rusher in particular. But Isaiah Lard is going to give trouble to pretty much everybody in Div 1.
does he feel more pressure to win Div 1 or Div 2?
Who? Danny Boy?
Dan Lazara.
I mean, if you're playing in Div 1, you should automatically go in Div 2.
No, because there's more than one guy playing from Div 1, so 2 people can't.
Everybody's asked to win that division.
No, well, I think that there's, in a similar vein to Alex Holloway, Dan Lazar's always feels a need to prove he belongs, right? With Kevin Wyeth, and I think like to me, it's always been clear. I've been one of his biggest supporters from when I saw him playing Div 5, and I was like, yeah, this guy's too good.
See
Div
Assassins.
5, and so like the thing is that it weighs heavy. It's like there's an albatross on him. Like he's got to let that.
He took it hard last year, losing the playoffs.
Yeah.
He did too. He mangled my finger.
What?
I was like, hey, listen, good luck next year. He literally took my finger and mangled it. He was
But
upset. That's how bad he took
Yeah,
it.
but it's a love-hate
What-
relationship with
Is
you.
gotta
this the
be
same
careful where you
finger
put
you
your finger,
injured while
Mokan.
playing quarterback?
That was left hand, actually.
Oh.
Anyways, carry on, though.
Did you recover?
So
It's
that's the
been-
thing is in a similar vein, the first thing he needs to do is get out of his own way, and
Yes.
dude, you're great. Just be great. Relax. You got this.
I agree with you. I've seen him this week, and he was forcing it. He's trying to play hero ball, and there's no need. You don't. The times where he was the most successful is when he uses the underneath patterns the most,
Mhm.
and it feels like this season he feels, I have this stacked roster. I could win every
And
jump ball.
he's so accurate, and he's shown he can be so disciplined.
Oh
So
yeah.
do that.
So, pressure on to win 1 or 2, though. Does he need to win?
So I'm saying
if he's more likely to win.
because of the pressure he puts on himself to
Yeah.
measure up to Marco, to Kevin Wyeth, to be sort of the next guy. Because the pressure he puts on himself, there's greater pressure for him to win Div 1 for those reasons.
But the division he's in Div 2 is a lot tougher to get out. So would you not say that percentage-wise, Div 1 might be easier for him?
I answered your question. Stop making me try and change my answer.
I'm saying, though, look at the teams in Div 2, though, right? We said it before. Div 2, the division he's in, is far more deeper of talented teams.
I disagree with Peeze. I think that there's more pressure for him to win in Division 2 than I think Division 1, it's about putting up numbers. I think it's going to be about, can his offense put up consistently 35, 40 points every week, finish with points for 350.
You guys know we're allowed to disagree, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
So I disagree with you.
So to me,
Perfect.
it's going to be
Done.
about Dan Lazar
Excellent.
playing well in Div A and Div 1, but even if his defense lets him down. But in Division 2, it's about winning, not about numbers.
All right, so who's the team that can dethrone the finest then? If we're looking at this, we're seeing there's 4 great teams in Div 1. So one of these great teams is going to have to take out the
I mean,
finest.
Flagma Slack's going to do it at some point, right?
I heard rumors this week that there was controversy at that game. And it
On
came
a fourth down play.
It came down to some bad referee calls, from what I heard. I wasn't there, so I can say.
I was there for that game.
But
So was it a bad call?
I think in the context of the contact that was administered by Van Dram on Ked Moore, I think it's called, but in the situation that was a 4th and 10, and to call it then at the critical moment of that football game, which could have been a turnover for the Flagmore Sack guys,
but
maybe
there was also a DPI that was given 5 yards for.
yeah, DPI as well, but
DPI on the goal line that was called for a 5-yard penalty from the spot, which did not give a first down.
But then in
On,
relation
like,
to
a
the
third and
finest,
long.
DPI is automatic for stuff.
Yes, but it was called as a contact, so just 5 yards, but
But
not
in
no
defense-
first
Contact
down.
is also
Yes,
Yeah. Both are automatic for stuff.
yes, but they were not given that.
but
way.
in defense of finest though, there was a few plays that Jonathan Beaulieu-Richard literally did a Lex Luger flying forearm running down the field like this to Kareem Bennett's neck, which wasn't called. That almost caused a fight with Kareem Bennett and the finest guys with some of the guys from Flagmore Sack. So
what you're saying is there were bad calls against both teams.
yeah,
So
there was-
you're saying it's poor refereeing.
No,
it
it
doesn't matter. Like,
I didn't say it went in one's favor. It just
there was
the-
calls that should have been
the
called.
players
that were
felt
not.
like the game was decided by the referees, not the players, which is going to make a rematch very fun.
But I like it though. That means it creates a little bit of animosity with these
that
teams.
that,
here.
that week, whatever they play again, they're going to play again against each other. It's going to make a great second game.
They will play each other, Flagmore Sack and the finest, February 25th, Monday night at Hebert once again.
What week is that?
Week 8.
I remember the first time I saw them, I was like, "Yo, these are the next guys,"
Thermostat?
and they're basically the next guys who, like, they're
Who've
like,
been the next guys?
the next. They're always a year away from being a year away.
But I believe
At some
and-
point, though, it has to happen, right?
and
Like,
I think I said it last winter in my article saying Flymore Soccer just missing one two-way player put everything together. They had Alex Nadopius. They had Sam Nadopius for the longest time. When they added Mikhail Davidson, I believe that was enough. But when they added him, it still felt like they were short of a guy. They were trying to go to a third receiver, and they didn't have a stud as a third receiver. And now that they have Anthony Van Ram, who's also a two-way player, if this roster can't be enough, then they won't.
And guys who
it won't be enough.
Guys who you're not going to mention just because they're not typical Div 1 guys, but Jordan and Zachary Alexi.
I mean, they're also Div 1 players.
Zachary Alexi, I'm not sure.
But they're not. They haven't traditionally been.
And
for a
so
long
is like
time.
Guillaume Robert. And like the full team is very strong.
This is the best Flag Mustang team they've built so far.
Well, in terms of the talent, but I don't know if Zachary Alexi will play because him coming off the awful injury he had and signing the Calgary Stampede contract might prevent him from risking an injury like that again, heaven forbid. But I'll ask you boys right now, your Div 2 finalist and winner will be who? In Div 2, will it be the Bad Boys? Will it be NR? Will it be Breeze 2.0 coming from Conference A? Who will it be, boys?
I'll take NR for Conference A, just because I think that
Sucks
NR
when we agree.
is going to be able to beat Braves, and I don't think Bad Boys are going to be strong enough to beat either of Braves or NR.
In Conference B, sir.
In Conference B, I really like STL this season, but they don't have TOJ on the roster.
Yeah, Brent Calendar.
Hey, Brent made some big plays, man.
Yeah, he did.
Recently, Brent, got to give him
I
some
told
love.
you, as he gained weight, he got better. Don't understand.
So you got who coming from Conference B then?
Who do you have since I picked first?
From Conference B,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Danny Boy finally gets his first championship. Controversy beats #NR.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm gonna go #NR against STL.
Clockmakers against #NR.
Clockmakers are
Clockmakers.
interesting. They like it's fun. I like it.
I think they're going to be
Clock-
better in Week 10 than they are right now.
Clockmakers
agreed.
Yeah.
either have a great season or it's an absolute meltdown.
It will be the last game
So
of
every
the
possible outcome.
No.
Or they have an average team.
No, I don't think they're gonna
Or
be.
they'll be okay.
No,
Or
I-
they'll be good friends. Or they'll be enemies.
No, I don't think they're
It
gonna
will
be,
be-
average. I don't think they're gonna be able to finish like 6-4. They're either gonna win a lot of games and play great, or it's gonna be an absolute meltdown and finish 2-8.
Well, Div 2 will be the last game of the FPF winter season. Brossard, it's Sunday night, April 14th. So that we'll know by then. So we'll have to wait till the last game of the year to find out who will be in the
Mo,
finals.
don't have chicken pox this time.
I will not.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. I know. I felt bad for you boys. I watched it online. I was like, oh, God, man.
7 games to prep.
But the
for.
best was, before we get to the Div 1 final predictions here, our lovely president, our loyal leader who will overwork us to the full brim. So, Mo, listen, do I have you down for Sunday's games? I'm like, wow, man. I got diagnosed like on Thursday night. So I'll see Sunday for 4 o'clock.
Diagnosed with chicken.
Well, it was actually over. The worst part was over. I was in the recovery portion. All right, Div 1.
You were fine.
That's fine, yeah. Division 1 finals, who you guys have?
Finest flame was that. The
All right.
most boring answer of all
Nope.
times.
What's going to happen is Finest will lose in the semis to Flag Mosac. And they will face. I had it a second ago. They will face Braves.
You know what the problem with
Because the time of year doesn't actually matter, Simo. That's the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
you know what the
Oh,
problem
they
with,
don't like cold weather.
they don't like snow. The problem with the Div 1 is the seeding will matter too much.
I got
Like who is finest playing in the first round?
You can avoid Finest for as long as
and
possible.
you can avoid finals
But that's
playing in
what
the
I'm
semifinals.
That's what I'm saying. It's like who's gonna be whoever finishes the second seed when finest is number 1 is gonna have the easiest path to the final.
Except that Flag Mosac will beat them in the semis.
I got Finest and Monstars.
Oh,
And the Monstars winning.
so finest
That'd
as
be
the finest as the number 1 seed and Monstars as the lower seed that
No,
bangs
three
out
Monsters
seed.
come in as a 2 seed.
As a 3 seed.
as a 3 seed.
As a 3 seed, yeah. They can't play the finals. If finals are 1 and Monsters are 3, you can't play until the finals. But,
They will play before the finals.
no.
Yes, if
They'll play
number
in the
2 is
semis.
there.
If the 2 team is there.
No, if finals are a 1 seed and the Monsters are a 3 seed,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the number 2.
What happens to the number 2 seed?
number 2 seed is whoever. Monsters will play the 2 seed in the semifinals. That's what I'm saying, though.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because it's top 2 get a bye,
Yeah, he's
3
right.
versus 6, 4 versus
Unless
5.
Tunic gets knocked out.
They can't. Number 2 has a
No,
bye.
they can't. There's a bye.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. There's not a lot of teams in that
Yeah.
division.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows what he's
I
doing.
made the same mistake.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I forgot about the bye, so I was like, no.
Buddy,
It's 8
hello.
teams, it doesn't work that way.
The reason,
Another
why,
one-
the reason why I picked Monsters over Finest, of late, the Monsters have had the Finest number, and they will play each other.
What is the number?
They beat them, I think, twice in the last 2 years.
2 is the number.
The opportunity for something stupid was so
But
know.
you couldn't do it.
right
know,
there.
You couldn't do it.
They will play each other week 6, Monday Night Football at Hebert. And
Mokan, how would you describe the finest pass rush this season?
it's your boy, man, rushing for them now.
Who?
Francois Hogue, man. Frankie Hogue.
He's rushing for
Yeah,
finest?
man. You're like, yeah, all right, good job,
Really?
man.
You didn't tell me that.
That's a downgrade.
You didn't tell me. No, he's rushing
Dude.
he's rushing for NR.
I swear to God, Div 1, he's on the roster. He played on Monday nights.
You didn't tell me that. Oh wow, because we played on
I
Sunday.
think I think
I
he
didn't
was
ask
like, good job, Francis. It's Francois. Oh, whatever, yo. Good job, man.
Because
Good
he told me he
job.
played with NR on Saturday, and I didn't. know
Yeah, he
was
played for
playing
NR on Saturday. That
Yeah.
I do. I do.
Yeah,
remember.
that he told me about, but we
Yeah.
played on Sunday, so I didn't speak to him since.
All right, boys. A reminder again. Div 1, Div 2, for those who play Monday in Saint Laurent,
Didn't-
be on the
You
lookout.
didn't answer my question. How's their pass rush? It doesn't matter who it is. I'm
So
asking
Frank
if it's
Hogue.
upgraded or not.
We'll see. Give me a few weeks to see Frank rush.
Okay.
I need a few weeks. I don't know because it's first time he's rushing Div 1. I don't know what to expect
Okay.
from him, right?
Okay.
All right, don't forget, Saint Laurent, Monday nights, a little rescheduling here, so be on the lookout for the FPF email if your game has been rescheduled on Mondays, Saint Laurent to a different date, which would be what, Eagle?
The week of March 18th, the Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday, March 18th, that week for games. All right, magic words, please, boys.
How do you clean a fleshlight? I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, man, I don't know. That's a good question.
Terrifying,
Simone
right?
knows. Simone would know.
You know what you
Just
do?
Simo cleaned it for you.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know what you do?
What?
Frozen
Buy a new
grapes.
fleshlight?
But order a new one on Amazon and throw it out.
Yeah. Or just keep returning it to Amazon saying it's defective.
Put it in the freezer and tell Mokan it's grapes.
How many? No, but serious question. If you're a Prime member and you can you have free returns on Amazon, how many times do you think they get returns on used fleshlights?
How many times can you return something? Like, how many returns you get? Infinite?
You're a Prime member, man. You basically walk on water.
Okay, no, but Prime members, how many returns do they get?
I'm telling you, I've returned things infinitely.
How many? Like, more than 100?
No, like 1 out of every 3 or 4 orders I return something.
Okay, because
Sometimes I return stuff just so I get it the next day because $25.
technically what's going to happen is you're going to return everything within 24 hours if you're ordering flashlights.
Yeah.
He's very quick.
And right away.
I'm not trying to please the
You got it. You got it. You used it. You're done. Ain't going back.